Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last episode we put up our science module and it's got some bits attached to it for sure. We need to make a few modifications to our lifter and we're certainly going to do that. I want to check in on mission control real quick here. Yeah, there's not a whole lot there. I'm not shocked about that. We haven't advanced time all that much, so that's fine. We'll hop into the VAB and let's see what we want to bring up next. Bringing this whole thing out, like assembling it in orbit over Kerbal, might be a bad idea. We'll see. We'll see if we feel that that's a bad idea later on. So I think we're going to bring up the habitation unit next. So this is ensconced in a fairing. Good to know. And for now, we're going to take that off. We'll put our batteries... I think I'm just going to remove the batteries for the time being. A lot of this is unnecessary here because it was added in doubles in order to preserve the weight balance, which is no longer, strictly speaking, necessary. So we ditch the Rockamax fuel tank here. We ditch the Rockamax fuel tank here. Those are not necessary if we're assembling this in orbit. We also end up ditching all of our twitches, which are very unnecessary here. There we go. And we also end up ditching the Probodobodyne Octo, although let's just head in here and try to remove it from its clipped position. Where is that? That should be, like, right here-ish? Because I think it's attached to a cubic octagonal strut, is it not? Perhaps it is not. Okay, let's go in like this. Now we know where it's at. There we go. Yeah, cubic octagonal strut. So we'll get rid of that. Fantastic. And this is inverted. I'm not used to that for some reason, but it's fine. Okay. So we've got our Probodobodyne hex here. We definitely want to get rid of that. So we'll replace that with the remote guidance unit. That'll be fine. And the remote guidance unit will go somewhere like there. And then on this end back here, well, actually, I've changed my mind a little bit here. I'm going to take the reaction wheel, and I'm going to put that in the back. There we go. And we are definitely going to place the small inline reaction wheel. Oh, okay. We definitely get rid of that. We don't need that. The Clampotron docking port will go here-ish. We're going to need some RCS for the same reason as the last one, but I doubt that we need the RCS. So the real question is, how much RCS do we end up putting in here? And the answer is some, for sure, but I don't think we need anywhere near the amount of RCS that we had previously. So let's put in something along the lines of, this is probably way too small. This is too much. That's the problem here, is that we're having a hard time finding the right balance in terms of tank size. This is almost certainly too much. This might be able to do. So we would put that like here, and then like this. And then we would put our RCS thrusters on here, of course. So it doesn't really matter which one we go for. Do we want 4 or 8? 8 feels a little crammed on. Honestly, I feel like they should be more like here-ish. Maybe not quite there. We'll turn snapping off and position it about here. Ish. There, that'll do. Yes, that positioning looks good. So snapping goes back on. Fantastic. Inside of here, we already have a bunch of struts. So that'll be fine. Looks good. And we also have this guy on here. Sure. That's intended for docking up down below. I think that we don't need that there at this time. So we can place this here, like that. We don't need the symmetry. And then duplicate that and turn it around and dock it together, like so. Cool. And then we've got this advanced inline reaction wheel here. which isn't strictly necessary, I don't think. It shouldn't be. We'll get rid of it, save the weight. Now, this fuel tank here, just checking to see if there's a ladder here, and we definitely do have these guys that we can get rid of. So this fuel tank here, we're going to lift this empty. And then we'll transfer this fuel in. We know for a fact we'll have plenty of fuel. So that is fine. Otherwise, what else do we need here? I think we're reasonably good, but we do need strut connections here. So let's go ahead and put in a few struts, and we'll have those originate up here so that they stick with us. And they're going to be about here down to here would be ideal. And yeah, that seems to work just fine. Beautiful. So we've got those struts there. That looks good. Any other problems? Yes. We have a potential lack of battery power. We've got these photovoltaic panels, which will do just fine, but let's go ahead and put in a small battery here, like a 1K? Something like that. A 1K should be more than sufficient, and we'll call that good. So we've made these modifications. That looks absolutely fine. Excellent. So we'll go ahead and save this as the Colony Habitation Unit. Low gravity, no atmosphere is what we're calling it. Fantastic. So save that, and let's go ahead and launch this, and we'll get this docked up, hopefully yet this episode. That was a nice and quick modification, and it's going to be a much lighter lift doing it this way. So that'll be great. Cool. And we'll do an evaluation as to whether we need some sort of a transfer stage. I suspect we'll want one, at least fuel for one, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and throttle up, SAS on, and off we go. I probably should have double-checked our staging. I'm checking it now, and it looks reasonably correct. Yeah, it looks correct. So we're just going to head on over here. I'm going a little aggressively here because I was pretty late on it. Okay. There we go. We'll chill about here. Beautiful. So up we go, and we've got a good amount of vertical speed. We've got more vertical than horizontal at this moment, and we're still putting more into our verticality. So for the moment, that's reasonably fine. Our time to apoapsis is increasing. That is our primary concern at the moment. Was I too aggressive here? That is my current question. Our horizontal speed is going up very quickly, and that's fine. We do want more horizontal speed, but we're quite low in the atmosphere here. I'm going to go onto stability assist and get us a little bit more altitude. Never mind, we're tumbling. Okay. We are tumbling. We're losing horizontal speed at this moment. Okay. This is very awkward. Very awkward indeed. We're trying to head back to prograde here. We're trying to recover this. I think that we still can. But man, that's a lot of... Okay. We're going to bring this back. We're going to try to splash it down as best we can. I'm going to... Do we ditch the fairing here? We're going to abort this flight. We're definitely going to abort this flight. This is a problem. The question is, how much of it do we end up losing? And that is quite a question. Okay. Let's get some boosting going here for steering purposes, hopefully. But yeah, we overcompensated. There's no doubt about that. So we lose these side boosters. They're out of fuel at this time. We'll just try to bring this back down as best we can, but we're just kind of tumbling sideways right now, rather than actually making our way to retrograde. That's the core issue right now. Yeah, we're just tumbling sideways. So that was fairly predictable. I was hoping that we'd be able to recover our verticality a little bit, but no such luck. No such luck. Okay. Oh, that pulled us right on around there. Okay. Cool. Now we're pointing retrograde-ish. That's exactly what we want. We're to bring this on down. Our thrust to weight isn't super high, but we're just going to try to recover as much of this as we can. And it looks like we may actually be able to recover a substantial amount of it. That would be wild if we did. I'm going to deploy the fairing here. I shouldn't have. The reason I shouldn't have deployed the fairing is... Okay, I'm just watching this here. The reason I should not have deployed the fairing... Oh, we are tumbling out of retrograde here. The reason I shouldn't have deployed the fairing is because I was thinking we had parachutes on this, but of course we don't. So it's fine. Okay. We're cutting this fuel for the time being. We're just trying to steer in this position without tumbling too far out. Hopefully. We basically need the engine to steer, is the problem. Actually, RCS on. Okay. RCS will help. But yeah, we basically need the engine to steer here. But with RCS, can we get it? Nope. We need the gimbaling from the engine. Okay. I'm hoping with the RCS and some small amounts of gimbaling we can do this. It's close. Okay. We're burning here. Full burn, surface retrograde. Cool. And we're bringing this on down. Okay. We're dropping the burn a little bit. We need to keep chasing the retrograde motion, though. I'm turning the RCS off for the moment. I'm not sure it's actually helping us. Maybe it was. And we're just watching this countdown here. Okay, let's start decelerating a little bit. Cool. Stability assist, please. Okay. And we splash down. We lost a few bits there. That's for sure. But we recovered a substantial portion of it. So, let's recover that vessel. Awkwardness definitely ensued there, but we were able to recover a significant amount of it. It's definitely not intended for that maneuver. There's no doubt about that, and we're not going to make any alterations to try to compensate for that, because it's not intended to be recovered in that way. It should have been disposed of, but we were able to recover a substantial portion of it and save some of our money, anyway. So we'll call that good. We recovered 5,267 funds from parts. That's not much, is it? That's because we have not recovered this portion of it. And that was another 68,000. And then we've got this debris, which is currently orbiting, which we can get rid of. We've got this that splashed down. We'll recover that. That didn't actually get us anything, apparently. But we did manage to recover about 73,000 of that cost. So that was the majority of the cost that we were able to recover there. So that's great. We were able to recoup most of our losses. Okay. Let's try this again. This time, we're not going to fail quite as badly, hopefully. That was entirely an ascent trajectory issue, and me trying to overcorrect without accounting for just how much mass was up here. So let's go ahead and launch that, and this time I'll not be distracted when we actually lift off, I hope. Let's go. Any moment now, KSB, you can do it. I have faith in you. We've done this a lot of times, and that was a weird one. No doubt about it. Definitely made mistakes, but let's go. So this time we're going to start our gravity turn at about 7, well, maybe like 60 meters per second. Yeah, we'll go now. We're not going to go very far over, only to about here. And then we'll lock prograde. Fantastic. So we're going to have a lot of verticality here. But that's okay. I don't mind having a lot of verticality. And we'll see what our coast phase ends up looking like. That was definitely a interesting launch attempt. No doubt about it. I feel like this time we have too much verticality, but that's okay. Honestly, in my opinion, you're better off having too much verticality than too much horizontal. But we definitely have too much verticality here. We could pull it over off of prograde a little bit over this way, just to pull it a little bit harder. Don't want to really leave the prograde marker here, but something kind of like that would do the trick in getting us just a little bit more horizontal speed. But you can see here our apoapsis height is already super duper high. So there is that. Well, we're just going to target an apoapsis here of 100 kilometers, and we'll just get the horizontal speed in orbit if we have to. So I'm going to go to like 105. Like that. There we go. And we're going to need a lot of horizontal speed. There's no doubt about that. But we'll go ahead and circularize this. Oh yeah, that's going to be a lot of horizontal speed. No surprises there. No surprises there at all. We're already high enough that we should be able to deploy our fairing. And funnily enough, we haven't decoupled this just yet. But this burn is going to start in about 1 minute and 20 seconds. We are not in a position right now to extend our solar panel, but this was definitely too much verticality. It's always a delicate balance. Okay, we're just kind of wiggling our way over. And now we can extend our solar panels. Beautiful. And we can warp on over to when we are going to start this burn. 40 seconds, 30, 20, 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And off we go. Excellent. Those side boosters carrying us quite a long ways, a lot longer than it probably should have. But that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Once we get circularized, we can transfer as much fuel as we can into this tank. In fact, we could do that literally right now. There we go. We'll transfer fuel on up. And this will be fine. And then we'll just try to burn out as much of this fuel as we can. That'll be fine. Cool. So that looks good. We've got that fuel transferred nicely. And we're still burning here. So we've got another 15 seconds. Like I said, we needed a lot of horizontal speed. There's no doubt about that. So 8 more seconds left on this burn. 3, 2, 1, 0-ish. Okay, that's good enough. Fantastic. So we'll just hold position here, and we will set our colony core as our target. What's our inclination looking like? 0.3 degrees off. Not too bad. We'll add a maneuver there. And 2, 1, and 0-ish, but we don't need quite that much. That'll do. We'll align to that maneuver. Excellent. And we've still got 829 meters per second in this tank. So there's still too much fuel here. There's no doubt about that. But once again, we'll have this as extra fuel and a spare poodle. We should actually be able to kind of put together our own booster, to be honest. So we've got another 7 minutes until this burn. We'll go ahead and warp. And this is a very minute burn, actually. So let's go ahead and thrust limit this. Even that's a 1 second burn. Okay, down to 1%. That's a 43-second burn. That's a little much, I feel like. So we'll go to like 16%. That should be fine. That's a 2-second burn. That's still more manageable. So that burn will be in about 30 seconds here. 15, 10, and 2, 1, mark. We'll call that good enough. We overshot a little bit, but it should be fine. Yep, absolutely. So now let's see what things look like if we were to try to intercept at the periapsis. It's actually non-terrible, but we're going to need to attempt to time this a little bit differently. It almost looks like we're going to have to wait in orbit. Unless we wanted to toss in some radial. Which we certainly could do. No, I don't want inclination. Get out of here with that. Okay. So this intersection is quite far apart here. Yeah, it's going to have to be very soon here that we do this. Cool. We'll go to the maneuver node. And off we go. So this burn is going to be commencing shortly. We're going to have to do a braking burn here too. But we do have this guy thrust limited, so it should be fine. 2, 1, mark. Excellent. And we definitely are going to want to pull this node over. We're going to want to do a corrective burn here. Let's go into target mode here. Okay, actually, this isn't bad. For now. We'll want to make a corrective burn. Definitely. But this will do. Our relative speed will be quite high. And we are not surprised about that. Cool. We could unthrust limit this, or at least, like, double the thrust. There we go. Something along the lines of this should do. Now I'm going to unthrust limit this in its entirety right now. It might be too powerful, but we'll see. And we can see our separation here. What we want to do at this point is push this prograde node. By doing this, we want to push the prograde node over so that this is on the towards target node. But this separation is actually looking quite good here. So we'll call that good for now. And we'll flip around to target retrograde. We are, of course, going to need to do quite a braking burn when we get there. Cool. So we're just going to warp to something like here. There we go. And we can see now our target is about 14 kilometers away. Cool. I don't want to time warp here because we're not quite in position. Yeah, this is looking quite good. Cool. So we'll bring this on in. And we're going to want to do our braking burn right about now. Okay. A little bit more. Cool. And from here, I want to push it over this direction. There we go. Looking good. So we're still coming in at about 2 meters per second here. And at this point, we've used as much fuel here as we possibly can. So we have to, at this point, jettison this. We've still got a little bit of fuel left over, 429 meters per second, but it is what it is. We can't use that anymore. So that'll do for now, and we're just going to push the retrograde node over this direction. There we go. Getting a small correction in. And now we're going to warp. In we come. Cool. I'm going to push the node a little bit further here. There we go. And we can set this guy as our actual target. There we go. And let's just go ahead and rotate around here towards target. Excellent. And we're going to need to get properly lined up in terms of our roll, but that's fine. We can now use RCS to adjust our trajectory. About like that. Fantastic. And we will now control from... Where is it? Out over that way. We'll control from here. Set this as our target. And SAS on. Point towards target. Cool. So we'll get that rotated on over. This has a decent amount of fuel left as well. Noted. Okay, so with this rotated over, we will stop here-ish. We'll switch on back, get our correct rotation. This is approximately correct. Fantastic. Adjust our trajectory a little bit using RCS. And there we go. This is likely close enough, but we may want to adjust our trajectory one additional time. We'll see. I'm not sure if we're going to lose these photovoltaic panels or not on this docking. We actually might. If we do, it's not the end of the world. But in we come. I think our trajectory is still good enough. Fantastic. Dead on. I like it. Okay, so we still do need to turn this SAS off for the moment. I'm going to freeze these physics because we need to get this strutted together. So let's extend this ladder and let's have KimCam hop out here. We're going to climb on down. And we're going to grab on to this ladder down here. There we go. And we're going to enter this mode. First things first. We need to strut this together, but we need to do it at a decent time in the swing. Kind of like that. Okay. Now we'll get that all strutted together. One there, and one over here. And we can see this guy really straining right now. Can we not strain like that, please? That would be nice. That'd be really nice. Well, we're going to grab a strut here, and we're going to connect it up here when we're at an even point here. Oh, it didn't... Did that go? It didn't go. Okay. There. You can stop that swing. Thank you very much. Now we're going to bring in this guy over here. It did not go there. I guess we could just connect it to this. That's fine. Cool. Now we'll grab another strut and connect that up over here. Because we definitely don't want this swaying the way it was. That was altogether too much sway. Yeah, it doesn't want to connect there. So we'll just connect it in over... Oh, it doesn't want to connect there either. Wow. Okay, we'll just do it from the front here. It's all good. And we'll grab one additional. And we will put that in from down here. Connecting that up like so. There we go. Now, I don't like the actual positioning of this one, so I'm going to change that. This one was used for primarily stabilization early on there. And we'll just do something kind of like that. There we go. It's a little bit chewing gum and duct tape, but it's much more stable now. Oh, this one didn't go. Okay, let's get that one done real quick. I didn't even notice that that one didn't go, but there we go. Now that's much more stable. So let's go ahead and RCS on. We will go out of this mode. And we'll hop back in. And there's our booster floating away very slowly with its 400 meters per second of fuel that I don't like to lose, but it's fine, I suppose. And we've got these extra fuel tanks here. We can definitely build ourselves a booster that can grab what we need. I think that's okay. So, there we go. We are halfway done establishing this colony in orbit, but we are going to be taking this over to Gilly. No doubt about that. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to start working on bringing up our next two modules. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Unisol, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.